You know, ladies and gentlemen, people genuinely believe that gaming journalists are probably some of the biggest embarrassments in the gaming industry right now. The fact that these people, for the most part, never play video games, and then when they do, they are constantly looking for ways to make it easier because most of them don't even finish the games that they end up reviewing or end up playing. They just play a couple of chapters, do some Google researching, end up doing a review for the game, and then they move on to the next one that they get a free review copy code. It's absolutely insane. Well, now we have an article showcasing just how pathetic they can actually get. We got PC Gamer over here, written by Stevie Bonifield, that says, I just started playing Monster Hunter Wilds, and this Monster Health Bar mod might be the first one that I install. This person is trying to convince all new players that they should install a mod that is inherently against what Monster Hunter is in the first place, because Monster Hunter doesn't have any health bars. Monster Hunter has a whole bunch of cues within the game to tell you when a monster is near death, but apparently that's just too hard, that's too difficult, and they are telling you to install a mod that shows a health bar. Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, all this does is showcase a disconnect between the gaming journalists and gamers, right? Gamers would absolutely destroy you if you talk about installing a health bar mod for Monster Hunter Wilds, and yet here you have a journalist telling you how not only are they going to do that for themselves, but it's also something they would recommend all new players to do, because instead of learning how to play the game the right way and play the game the way that was meant to be played, you rather tell them to install a mod so that they can see how much health a monster has, instead of paying attention to cues and getting better at the game. If you were to pay attention to the game and pay attention to the monsters, you realize that you don't need a health bar. All the cues are there. It's supposed to teach you how to hunt and teach you how to be a Monster Hunter player. But by adding that health bar, you are going to cause issues for people who are trying to learn the game. So let's get into this article, guys, from PC Gamer. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So it says Monster Hunter Wilds mods are already here, and I found the first one new players should install. A mod that adds a health bar for monsters, allowing you to see exactly how much damage you've dealt and how far you have left to go. Again, guys, if anybody's played Monster Hunter, you would realize that there's no need for a health bar. If you even remotely pay attention, if you even remotely pay attention to the game, you're going to realize that it has all the cues that you need for you to understand what you need to do and how far you are from destroying a monster. There is literally no reason for a health bar other than one simple fact, and that's laziness. It's pure laziness from the player who doesn't want to get involved in understanding the game mechanics and looking at cues and seeing, oh, okay, the monster isn't able to use some of its abilities anymore. Oh, maybe some parts fell off. Oh, look at it. It's struggling to walk around now. It's clearly hurting. There are things that show you how far into the fight you actually are, but these people don't want to pay attention. They want the easy way out, just like they always do. Veteran players of Monster Hunter franchise may be familiar with mods like this for previous games, but if you're new, you might be wondering why you can't see monsters' HP. The lack of visibility can make it difficult to tell which weapons and combos work best for you. That is retarded. That is unbelievably retarded. What are you talking about? I don't... My God, man. I really wonder if these people genuinely play games. I really do. Which is especially frustrating if you haven't played a Monster Hunter game before. I can understand there's people out there that haven't played Monster Hunter before. I get it, right? But at the end of the day, you want to learn how to play the game so that when you party up with other people, you're not the odd man out who can't understand certain mechanics or certain things to look out for because you're too busy having a mod tell you all the information and hope that that can tell you everything you need during the fight. It's ridiculous, man. You guys are so freaking lazy. I can't even begin to imagine what it must be like to play a Monster Hunter game where you literally hunt monsters and you want to take away one of the best parts of the hunting mechanics, which is to understand when or how the enemy is going to potentially be destroyed based off how they are acting and responding to the damage that you do. It's ridiculous, bro. Anyway, one modder, Green Comfy Tea on Nexus Mods, created a tweak that adds a basic, no frills health bar showing current and total HP under each monster's name. It's nothing fancy, but it gets the job done. As the mod creator warns, this is a bare bone mod without convenient in-game customization menu, optimizations, localization support, and other cool features made to be released in the shortest time possible. There will be no updates. The mod creator also noted that you need RE Framework nightly installed for it to work. If you're new to modding RE Engine games, I recommend checking out a guide first to learn your way around before installing this mod. You also want to keep in mind that Capcom's official stance on mods isn't exactly warm and fuzzy. Back in 2023, Capcom claimed mods are no different than cheating in an R&D presentation. And listen, for an online game, they may have a point, right? For a single player game, obviously not. But for an online game where there are other players with you, you are inherently having an advantage over others by showcasing a health bar that other people don't have. And granted, you're all going after the same goal, but still, you guys, this is not something that is welcomed by Capcom. Capcom has banned people in the past for this stuff. You really don't want to mess with this kind of stuff. And it's amazing to me that PC Gamer is actually trying to tell new players, hey, go install this mod. This is something you might want. Go install it. What are you doing? Many gamers would probably disagree with that view. Oh, we do. But if you want to play it safe and get a feel for the game without a health bar, you can always try to keep an eye on your weapon damage to gauge what works and how you're performing in combat. You can even adjust how your attack damage shows up by going into options, then game settings, and scrolling down to weapon attack power display. Why couldn't you just say this? I don't understand. You talk about this mod, you talk about the health bar, you talk about all this stuff that you know a lot of people are going to disagree with, and you're like, hey, there's this thing that you could do in game that every other player does that can do almost the same thing. Why don't you do that instead and save yourself getting banned for putting a mod in a Capcom game? It's ridiculous, man. As some players have pointed out with previous Monster Hunter games, the lack of a health bar for the monsters is supposed to make hunts more realistic and immersive, which is also something to consider. Of course, there are plenty of... What do you mean something to consider? It is what to consider. What the I can't with these people. What do you mean something to consider? That is literally the point of the Monster Hunter games. It's the thrill of the hunt. Why would you want a health bar? It completely ruins the immersive experience of hunting monsters. What's wrong with you? Of course, there are plenty of reasons a player might find it more helpful to their gameplay to be able to see how much health monsters have remaining. It just depends on your priorities and playstyle. Regardless of whether or not you decide to try modding Wilds, it's nice that there are options so everyone can have a good time with the game, at least as good as a time you can have, considering its slew of graphics and performance issues. This person, whoever wrote this, makes no damn sense. So you openly talk about the options that are available to you in-game to give you exactly what you're looking for the most part. But then at the start of your article, you're like, hey, install this mod if you're a new player because we think that this is going to be good for new players. First off, it's not going to be good for new players because it's not teaching them the mechanics. It's going to make them lazy players. And number two, you could potentially get them in trouble with Capcom and get them banned and get their account fucked with, all because you want to write an article telling them there's a health bar mod that they should install. It's absolutely insane, man. I don't really know what is up with these journalists, but we need to have them stop pretending like they play games at this point because you guys are giving bad fucking information and bad ideas to gamers that should learn how to play Monster Hunter games the way they were meant to be played. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.